Finally, got that arcade machine to shut up. Now I can actually sleep. Big Biggie, you can take it back to wherever you found it.
You got it. See you all soon.
Hopefully they can fix that arcade machine mess without too much trouble. But hey, they probably have it under control, so I shouldn't stress about it. Anyway, hello everyone. I'm Ben, and since I don't have anything specific planned for today's video, I'm just gonna dive into 8 games from my sponsored section on Roblox and see if they're worth checking out. Will I just find content farm slop, or maybe, just maybe, a hidden gem? Guess there's only one way to find out. Welcome to the world of sponsored games. Today we're diving into Platform Shuffle. At first glance, it looks like your run-of-the-mill platformer where you dodge obstacles and survive quirky minigames. Sounds like a sure bet, right? Well, not exactly. This game sports a mere 31% approval rating and serves up AI-generated slop as its secret sauce. Definitely not the ideal recipe, but maybe the flavor improves as you progress. The opening round featured the minigame Crumble, and I emerged victorious. Then came the minigame aptly titled Flower. I took an early tumble there, like a wilting bloom in the heat. However, round 2 of Flower had me on a high stem, until a miscalculated jump knocked me off my platform pedestal. Mid-game, I discovered a nifty shop offering various gear to boost your performance. I snagged the speed boots, which cranked up my pace up by 5%. It wasn't a game changer, but every little sprint counts. Overall, while Platform Shuffle has its charms, the repetitive gameplay and scant content leave it a bit one note. It might eventually lose its luster, making it decent at best. But hey, even a wilted flower can have a few good petals. If I'm being completely honest, Pet Star Simulator isn't exactly breaking new ground. Right from the get-go, you're given a choice between 3 pets, a bunny, a cat, or a dog. Sound familiar? Yeah, they probably lifted that straight from Pet Simulator. I decided to roll with the classic duo, cat and dog, and set off my grand adventure. And by grand adventure, I mean walking around while my pets sort of help me collect stars and power-ups. What exactly are they doing though? Emotional support? Moral guidance? Who knows? The stars likely serve some purpose, probably for upgrading or unlocking something, but the game doesn't make it very clear. At the end of the day, Pet Star Simulator left me feeling underwhelmed. It's not the worst game out there, but the lack of originality and its overall bland execution make it hard to get invested. Next up on the list is Faction Defense Tycoon. Right off the bat, you're given the choice between 4 teams: Green Fighter, Blue Soldier, Red Warrior, and last but not least, the elusive Purple Ninja. Naturally, I rolled with the Blue Soldier. Not for any strategic reason, I just think blue is a solid color choice. So, I hop in ready for action, only to be greeted by an AI-generated tutorial guide. Wow, riveting. And as if that wasn't enough, the game's logo is somehow low quality too. Like, how do you screw that up? They're already cutting corners with AI assets and now they can't even bother with a clean logo? That's a new level of effort. But wait, it gets better. You can buy unlimited cash. This game straight up lets you buy infinite cash and a bunch of old school Roblox gear for Robux. Like, why? Why would you even implement that? And more importantly, why would anyone willingly spend their money on it? Just like that cursed game, you can essentially buy your way to the end in Faction Defense Tycoon. All for the low price of 4,650 Robux. Oh boy, because nothing screams fun and rewarding gameplay. I'd wager 99% of the player base can't even afford that, making this more of a pay-to-win simulator than an actual Tycoon game. Alright, let's move past the shameless monetization and focus on something actually interesting. The combat. The tutorial generously handed me a code, GZED, which gave me a 1-life giant Z to kickstart my battles. Not bad. I charged into the fight, swinging my sword and firing my crossbow at a squad of archers, until they completely shredded my HP and I got bodied. Overall, Faction Defense Tycoon could have had potential, but the pay-to-win mechanics and AI asset spam kinda sink it. If you're looking for an actual Tycoon experience, you might want to defend yourself from this one. Alright, let's talk about Taylor Swift Bingo. And by talk about, I mean explain why this was an absolute disaster for me. Wanna know why? Of course you do. First off, I don't really listen to Taylor Swift. I know she exists, I know she's got a lot of songs, but beyond that, yeah, I'm basically flying blind here. So 99% of my gameplay was just me frantically googling my answers, hoping I'd somehow stumble into Swiftie knowledge. But even with Google on my side, by the time I found an answer, the round was already over and I was getting kicked out like I showed up to a VIP concert without a ticket. The one time I actually won, it wasn't skill, it was sheer luck. I was down to just one teammate and then they straight up left the server, which meant victory by default. But yeah, at the end of the day, this is just a basic quiz game with a Taylor Swift theme slapped on. If you're a diehard Swiftie, maybe you'll have fun, but for anyone outside the fandom, good luck, you're gonna need it. Next up on the list is Hyundai Future Adventure. Naturally, the first thing I did was check the shop, only to realize I was broke. So with no funds to my name, I jumped straight into a game. Right before the round started, another player joined in, making it a 2-player adventure. I had no idea which map to pick, but my teammate went with High Tech Campus, so I just rolled with it. To summarize, this game is a futuristic Roblox obby, where you and up to 8 players navigate high-tech environments. Along the way, you can collect these mysterious pills the game calls treasure. You can grab up to 9 per run, but what do they actually do? No clue. The game doesn't bother explaining, but hey, free loot is free loot. Now, as someone who has conquered Jato, I was expecting some level of challenge, but honestly, this obby was a breeze. The checkpoints made sure you weren't getting sent back to square one, so even if you died, it wasn't much of a setback. Overall, surprisingly solid for a sponsored game. Unlike most cash grab collabs, this one actually functions well and doesn't have any glaring flaws. Is it groundbreaking? Not really, but compared to the usual sponsored game disasters, this one's pretty good. Next up, we've got shooters versus runners. The premise is as straightforward as it gets. Shooters don't let the runners escape. Eliminate them to win. Runners make it to the end without getting obliterated, and vice versa. If the runners succeed, the shooters lose. For my first round, I got assigned runner. And let me tell you, being a runner is basically just a glorified try not to get obliterated simulator. You dodge bullets, collect some stars scattered across the map, and pray you don't get sniped. Oh, and the shooters, yeah, they do a ton of damage. 3 shots and you're done. Feels a little excessive, but hey, balance is overrated, right? But I wasn't about to give up. I queued up for round 2, determined to get my revenge as the shooter, and then I got runner again, and died again. Finally, on round 3, my time had come. Shooter mode activated, and let's just say, balance issues confirmed. My gun was insanely strong, and the round ended almost instantly because I wiped out the runners with ease. Not even a challenge. All in all, shockingly fun for a sponsored game. Maybe, just maybe these collab games aren't doomed after all. Just when I thought the sponsored games were getting better, this happened. Welcome to Wait in Line for Chopped Chin, a game that proudly takes its place as the gazillionth quadrillionth line simulator on Roblox, except this one is stuffed to the brim with brain-melting memes I can't even begin to comprehend. First off, what even is this? Why is there a random red car just sitting there? Why is there a pyramid with bright red text that says Egyptian properties? What does that even mean? And then to top it all off, there is a place called Eye of Ra. At this point, I'm convinced this game was put together by an AI that just mashed random words together for the sake of chaos. Honestly, this game speaks for itself. Do I really need to explain anything more? Because I feel like my brain cells are actively dissolving just thinking about it. Alright, Cultivation Simulator. While it's not exactly groundbreaking or insanely fun, it's still miles better than whatever Wait in Line for Chopped Chin was. But aside from that, I have no idea what's actually going on. From what I could gather, you ride on a sword, fight random enemies like sentient flowers with homing projectiles, and somehow you also build and explore new worlds. That's about as much as I managed to figure out. For the most part, I was holding my own against the waves of enemies until those homing projectiles showed up and ate through all my HP like it was nothing. And honestly, that's kinda unfair. If the damage is guaranteed no matter what, then what's the point? Might as well just accept my fate and perish in style. Gameplay-wise, decent, but nothing groundbreaking. Oh, and of course, they just had to throw in AI-generated thumbnails. Because why put effort into your game's presentation when you can just let an algorithm do it for you? But hey, whatever floats their boat. So yeah, at the end of the day, sponsored games are a total mixed bag. Sometimes you might stumble upon a hidden gem, but other times you're knee-deep in AI-generated slop, pay-to-win madness, or something that just straight up sucks. But to be fair, not all sponsored games are bad. Every now and then, there's that one game, actually well made, actually creative, that deserves recognition. And what do they have to do? Fight their way into the sponsored section just to get noticed. But even then, they're overshadowed by the endless flood of generic simulator slop. And with that said, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.